which are given to us by nature. Like you have to survive, you need some food to survive, you need some shelter to survive. That is a non-binding desire. That desire does not leave any impression in your mind. For example, for eating food, you don't keep on thinking the whole day that I have to eat food, I have to eat food, I have to eat food. But if you want to acquire something, for example, a person wants to really get married to a particular lady, a man wants to get married, he keeps on thinking about it, that I have to get married, I have to get married, all the time he thinks only that one. And all his actions will be based on that particular impression in the mind. So whenever you have a non-binding desire, which are nature's desire, you will have no impressions created in your mind. It will just happen. You happen to eat food, you happen to have a shelter, you happen to go to work, you happen to come back, those things are just happening. But whenever you have a binding desire, it keeps on bugging you all the time. And if it is a craving, which is a high level of binding desire, it does not leave you any time. It's a similar thing if you develop jealousy for somebody, that does not leave you. While sleeping also you keep on thinking about it, that I should have got promotion and this guy got promotion. And it remains with you, it doesn't leave. There is a Sanskrit word for jealousy known as matsarya, they call it. It really means jealousy. They say it is the worst of all these diseases. It's a mental disease. Anger is also a mental disease. We have to accept that we have got certain mental disease. But people don't want to accept it. They only accept the physical disease. Whenever it comes to mental disease, they say, no, I don't have any. But all this anger, greed, jealousy, all these are also mental diseases. Vanity is also mental disease. So these are mental diseases, but they are not kind of mental diseases which normally a neurologist calls as mental disease. For psychologists, it is a mental disease. For neurologists, mental disease is dealing with Alzheimer's disease and things of that, dementia and things like that. We are not talking about those diseases. Those diseases require some medical care because there the problem is at the level of the hardware. Hardware has got a problem there, which you call as brain. In that brain, if some chemicals are being secreted which fuse the nerves and stop the firing of neurons, then you start getting dementia. So that should be taken care of. That is a body issue. We are talking about mind. And so we are talking about the diseases of mind. And diseases of mind are like anger, like jealousy, like greed. These are the diseases of mind. And we are Karma Yoga only handles the diseases of mind, not the body's diseases. For body diseases, you go to a medical doctor. He will take care of it. Okay? Then we will talk a little bit about what they call as the word dharma, which you can, in English, you can translate as righteousness. And you can also call it as a duty, your duty. And typically the word dharma really means this thing, an action which brings harmony in the society. Relative harmony. You cannot have perfect harmony, by the way. Perfect harmony can only be in the universe, where you can say some cosmic power has really created that harmony. At our level, we can really work on certain things where it can really bring more harmony in the society. And if it does not really bring harmony in the society, which you call as unrighteousness, or you call it adharma. So we will talk a little bit about this one and specifically understanding the difference between your duty and your rights. You know, we have got Bill of Rights, and people only focus on rights. They don't focus on duty. This is the problem. A person says, I have right towards my protection. I should be protected in this country because that's my right. But they don't think that I have a duty to pay my taxes so that there can be police, there can be cops in this place. People think only about their rights, not about duty. And Karma Yoga is just the reverse of that. It says you only focus on duty, your rights will be automatically met. Just focus on duty. Of course, everybody has to focus on duty. If one person focuses on duty, it will not solve all the problem. But the goal is everyone who are associated with you should focus on duty alone or on dharma alone. Okay, let's continue with this one, the so-called the law of karma. All phenomena in the universe, by the way, the world, are linked together with what you call as a universal chain of cause and effect. The most universal law, it is known as the law of causation or the law of karma. Anything which you look at, I'll show you some examples. An example, I'm giving you an example here. The example is of the cause and effect is a murder shoots the Archduke of Austria and Hungary, Ferdinand, by the way, I'm sure many of you know about it, Franz Ferdinand, who dies due to blood poisoning. This guy was a Serbian guy who really shot him. While he was in a car, he shot him and also his wife both. And this resulted in a World War I. First World War happened just few days after that Austria, Hungary and Germany declared a war. Then on the other side, you started having all the other countries, France, England, Russia and all that started fighting. And what happens, millions got killed. The Kaiser got killed and the Tsar of Russia also got killed in that one. And the effect lasted for generations to come. This is what is cause and effect. And I have given you extreme example that one thing like this can have havoc. One small mistake, they could have just really tried to sort it out peacefully, but they did not. The reason is they actually wanted to attack. And this became a reason for them to really go to the war. They were already ready for the war. Germany, Hungary and Austria, they were together, They were ready for that war. And they found now this is a nice excuse for me to go to the war. Okay. But this law, every action will have a result or effect that may mature in this life or some future life. Now this is something which is unique to law of karma. It says there are some actions which you perform, you do not get result of those actions in this lifetime. But the result has to come. For example, you have done a good deed in this life. You have helped some poor people. As an example, I'm saying, destitute, poor, or some needy. And you may not see any good result coming to your life, any material result coming in terms of money, in terms of name, in terms of fame in this lifetime. So it has to come sometime. That is what you call as law of karma. So this really is the basis of what you call as reincarnation. That is, you will have a next life in which you will have that advantage or that benefit will come in next life. And this law of causation is the basis for reincarnation. I'll give you some example for this one. Why a child is born in the slum of Sudan? Is there a cause? There has to be some cause behind it. Another one is born with a silver spoon or you can say golden spoon in his mouth in the US. Why is that reason? I'm talking just about the birth of a child. Why does it happen that way? And you cannot find the cause. The reason is it must have come from the karma which is done in the past life or lives. There must be some cause for this disparity. This is starting point. This is where the philosophers started asking questions, including Pythagoras. I'm talking about that philosopher. He started asking questions. Why somebody is born as a boy? Why somebody is born as a girl? Why somebody is born in rich family? Why somebody is born in poor family? The birth must have some cause. And that cause, basically, they said, must be that he must have done some good deeds or bad deeds in the previous life. This is the basis of reincarnation. But you don't have to agree with me, but you can think over it, And the reason is, according to this law of karma, when the body dies, the mind does not die. It's a software. If I destroy this hardware, it doesn't mean the software will be destroyed. I have it on my USB port drive, that whole software. So it won't be destroyed. Similarly, the mind does not get destroyed. Mind you call a subtle body, a body which you cannot see, which you cannot perceive, that is what is subtle body. It does not get destroyed. We should not talk about it becomes a ghost and all that. Those things are stories more than anything else. Let's not talk about those. People call it ghost, people call it astral body, people give different type of names. We are just saying that there is a mind which has got all the memory contained in that one of the previous birth, and then it finds another body. A cell in your body, for example, if you have a stomach lining, in that stomach lining you have got an ulcer, and that lining changes every 3 days. And Due to any reason you have got an ulcer. And when the full lining changes, somehow that ulcer doesn't go away. Why doesn't it go away? Because this cell passes on the memory of the ulcer to a new cell also. And that memory is the soft, where, or you can call it the subtle body. It goes from one to the other. So only way of solving that problem is that you destroy that memory itself. If you can destroy the memory, then it will not go to the next cell. It's a similar situation here, that if anything which is performed in this life, all that memory is with you, and that mind really transfer that memory to another body. And based on what are the, you can say, virtues and sins you have collected, you will get the next body. And next body can be anything. It can be a human body, it can be animal body also, who knows? We don't know about it. And we don't need to know also about it. Why bother about it? Otherwise we'll be worried about the next body itself. Okay. Law of causation, I'm giving you a quick example. We'll start with the cause and effect. We'll say cause, which I call it causeless cause, which you can call it God if you like. It's just we give name as God, And it can be called as noumenon. Noumenon really means origin of phenomena. All this world is a phenomenal universe. And there is some origin of that one. We don't know that origin. But let's call it as noumenon. Or if you want to call it God, if you want to call it higher power, you can use whatever word you like to use, for that one. God is not a person, by the way. One should really know about it. This is our imagination, that we create God in the image of human being. Because we feel limited, we think that also God will have a body. It's not a body. You can just say this thing, it's a higher power, higher intelligence, or cosmic intelligence, due to which all these galaxies are moving at a faster speed, going away from each other, due to which all the stars are moving in a particular path, in a galactic path which is going, like sun is going in a galactic path, in Milky Way galaxy it is going. And you know how much time it takes? It takes 130 million years for the sun to go through the one orbit in the galaxy. Then you have got planets which are going around the sun, including Earth, which goes in 1 year. You have got Jupiter, which goes in 12 years. You have got all these going around the sun. And then you have within the body itself, you have got atoms, you can say, cells have got atoms, and those atoms have got electrons, protons, neutrons, all those are contained in that one, depending on the kind of chemical in the body. So they are also moving around. So all these things are in a state of perfection, and that is what you call as the cosmic intelligence. And then you also have what you call as cosmic motive power. That's why I said you have two power. One is the physical or motive power, and the other one is which you call as the knowledge power or the cosmic intelligence. We are really getting all that into the body also. Into this outer space, into the body, everything which is happening due to that one. So we call that as a causeless cause, because there cannot be another cause. It's like saying that who created God? And if you answer that there was God number 2 who created this God, then you will have to answer who created God number 2. And you will go into what you call an infinite regression. You will never reach. So let's say that we have causeless cause created a Big Bang, 13.8 billion years back, created a Big Bang, which you call as the origin of this universe. Then Big Bang created a lot of stars, galaxies, it created sun, it created Earth, which happened, by the way, Earth is created about 5 billion years back. There is a way of estimating. If you want, I can tell you how to estimate that. Then sun really creates clouds on Earth. There is water on Earth, sun creates clouds. Clouds will create rain. Rain will create water. Water will really create, water and sun will create food. Then food will really create body. Then you can say body, when it dies, it will create some action. Body will create action. And also when it dies, it will create food for some other animals or for some germs or something like that. So this cycle continues. There is a water cycle also, by the way. So any water which you are having anywhere in the world, it's the same water. It's not a different water. Only thing, it can bring some impurities from the ground or some other places. All this water which is evaporated from the ocean, into clouds, and that clouds travel all the way to some mountains. And then on the top of the mountain, it starts really unloading that water. Then that water will start flowing down. It will taking away all the impurities. It will also give water for growing the plants. And after that, that same water will go back into the ocean. So that water cycle continues like that. Keeps on cleaning the earth, keeps on providing food, keeps on providing life on earth. And similarly, this whole cycle also continues. And in fact, this creation and dissolution also is a cycle. I talked last time about it, that the time is cyclic. Although there is no real time, but we are talking about, whenever we talk about time, it is connected with mind. That is cyclic time. Okay, now let's talk about this multifaceted word which we call as karma. The literal meaning of the word karma is action. It can be secular action, means worldly action, we call it secular action, or it can be religious action, which is a religious ritual. Because many type of religions have lot of rituals, like Hindu religion, which we call as Hindu religion. They have lot of rituals. You may have quite a bit of rituals in, say, Catholic religion may have more rituals than other places. So all religions have got some rituals. So word karma is used for either a ritual or the worldly action. And we will be only dealing with the worldly action or secular karma. We are not going to talk about the so-called religious rituals. They have a different significance, and there is some reason for that one. I'm not going to go into detail why those rituals are performed. One should ask this question. A philosopher asks this question, why is there a ritual? So we will not go into that details today. We are running out of time, in fact. Okay. An action involves movement. Any action has to have a motion with it. When this movement is associated with a feeling of doership, when you think, I am doing that movement, which is known as conscious action, then only it becomes karma. By movement itself is not a karma. For example, if I say that another thing is being a conscious action, karma can only be performed by humans. Because you are only conscious that I am doing some action. When it comes to animals, they don't perform any karma at all. Because everything happens due to instinct in an animal. Animal is programmed to perform it. Animals do not feel that they are the doers, they act on instinct. A dog will not tell you that this morning I was barking on somebody. It cannot think about it. Actually, an animal also does not have a concept of time. The concept of time is only with human beings. So karma can only be performed by human beings, because if anything happens, one associates, they say, I did it. You make a cup of coffee and you say, I made coffee. But if you start thinking about it, your contribution to making coffee is almost zero. I'm just telling you it is almost zero, because first you should think how many people were involved in producing that coffee, in refining the coffee, in transporting the coffee, in transporting how many people were involved in terms of the transportation system, whether it was trucks, whether it was ships, then you are using some water. How many people are involved in supplying that water to your house? And you will then find out how many people are involved in making that stove which you are using. And you are getting gas. How many people are involved in getting gas to you? So ultimately you will find out that there are hundreds of thousands of people are involved for one cup of coffee to be made. And so your contribution is almost zero. So this is what a person says, I made coffee. That is known as a conscious action, or you have made it a karma. We are not talking about simple things like making coffee. We are talking about other important action. You start a business. That's a karma, you know. You get married, it's a karma. You buy a house, it's a karma. You get an MBA degree, it's a karma. All those are karma, where you have deliberated and taken that action. And you say, I did it. That creates an impression in the mind the moment you say, I did it, you know. So basically, this is where the karma comes into it. Our goal is not to really have that impression. Now, movement by itself may not be karma. You see a falling leaf here, it is not a karma. It is just a movement. You don't say that I did that leaf to fall. No, you don't say that. If you shake the tree, then you will say, yeah, I made the leaf to fall. But really, see, leaf is just falling by itself, So the moment you associate it with, you make it a karma. Otherwise, it's not a karma, it's only a movement. Did you see a nice picture coming? This is done by Rosemary, that leaf falling. Okay. A karma always produces results at two levels, by the way. The result is one you call as a material result or physical result. That you are going to get a result in the form of some physical entity. For example, you do harm to somebody, you get result of that one. In a physical form that you will be harmed also. If you do good to somebody, something good will be done to you. This is the physical element. Only thing is the physical element may not happen right away. It happens later on. It happens in the future, you can say. That future could be next day, it could be after 1 hour, it could be after 40 years, or it could be after 3 births, it could be. But at the same time, you get a result at the mental level, which is right away. You do a good deed, you feel happy. Right away you feel happy, you don't have to wait. So you are getting results at 2 levels. One level is physical level, that result is going to come. Whatever you can do about it, still that result will come. The mental level, what result you have got, if it really creates anger in you, it creates some kind of tendency in you, you can work on that mental stuff only. Physical result is going to come, you cannot do anything about it. Physical dependency cannot be taken away. Everybody is physically dependent on everything else. This whole universe is really joined together, it is glued together. We should not feel things are separate, by the way. There is a glue which you call as gravity. There is a glue. And nobody can be physically independent. You have to depend on something. You have to depend on food, you have to depend on water, you have to depend on other people, you have to depend on birds, you have to depend on animals. So you will have dependency all the time. But psychologically, you can become independent. That mentally you are not really dependent on it. You take physical, think whatever is needed without really worrying about any future. If you are not worried about the future, you are psychologically independent. That is, you have an attitude where you say that I have done my job and let the future unfold. And I'll watch that beauty, I'll watch the miracle. If you already know what is going to come in the future, you have lost the wonder, you have lost the miracle itself. So you really let the future unfold and enjoy that miracle. Enjoy the wonder. Everything will come as wonder. If it is expected thing, it is no wonder, it is boring, A person says, okay, I studied hard, I got good results. Okay, what a big deal, You already were sure about it that you will get, say you will be in top 2% people and all that. So it's boring, you are not excited about it. You just finish the exam, don't look at what you did. And after that, suddenly you find, oh my God, I am among the top 1%. That's like a wonder. So this is what you say, you let the future unfold, let the wonder happen. This is a miracle. That's miracle happening. I think we are running out of time. So what is your suggestion? I cannot finish science today.
Continue it.
So should we stop after one chart? We'll stop.
All right.
We'll go to the guided meditation after that.
Okay. Great.
Now, 3 main type of actions happened. I just want to quickly tell you about these actions. One is known as impulsive action, which is really speaking a reaction to a situation. This is what you call an impulsive action. It is a reaction to a stimulus. Stimulus can be an insult. Somebody says, somebody congratulates you or insults you, that it's a stimulus. You react to that one, This is known as, and then you take impulsively, you do something. Say somebody insults you and you slap that person. Without really feeling that person is a wrestler or something like that, You have made a big mistake. So normally whenever impulsive action is taken, it's an irrational action. So first thing one has to learn not to really have an impulsive reaction. Don't take impulsive action. Something happens, somebody really insults you or something like that, think over it, keep quiet. Just for some time, say, let me think about it. Don't get angry at that time. And if you are getting angry, remind yourself, hey, I'm getting angry. So I have to watch myself, be alert. This is a very great quality of being alert all the time, So this is one, it creates a serious bondage. Because after you have really taken the action, then you will keep on thinking about it. I should not have got angry, I should not have slapped this thing, that's why I'm being punished, the police has caught me, all those kind of things. You keep on thinking about it for days and days to come, and your mind will not be in your command. You will be actually a slave of your mind. So don't avoid that. The next action is, you call it deliberate action, which is well thought out action and generally rational, where you have withdrawn for some time, thought over it, looked at pros and cons, where you use your intellect. Intellect is that element, by the way, which lets you really do thinking, analysis, and making decisions. While what we call as mind, there is a word for mind, manas, which we call as emotional element. Emotional thing is a reaction to a stimulus. Then there is, and this generally will not cause bondage, because you have thought over it, you say, okay, I'll make this decision, and I'll act accordingly. Then you will be quite calm and peaceful. Then there is another stage which is known as spontaneous action. Because the problem with deliberate action, it takes a lot of time. Sometimes you run out of time. That you have to keep on studying and analyzing. Then a stage comes when you have done so much analysis, so much deliberations, that it becomes your second nature. So then you take action spontaneously, automatically coming out of the experience which you have gained in dealing with different situations. And that is what and it's almost always a rational answer. Normally saints have this quality, by the way. You go and say, pose a problem to a saint, and saint will immediately give you a solution. Depending on your situation, depending on your background, a saint will say for you, this should be done. You leave this city, a saint may tell you. To another person in similar situation, he may tell you, you stay in this city. Because he has gained so much experience of deliberating about human problems that it comes naturally to that person. That is what you call as a spontaneous stage of action. And our goal in Karma Yoga is to reach this stage, the spontaneity in life. This is what we want to reach. So I am going to really stop here, and I'll conduct a guided meditation. And we will start next time from this 11th. I have got actually about 20 slides in this itself, and we have just covered up to 11th. Okay, guided meditation, just to give you an idea, in guided meditation, I'll be the one who will be speaking. And whatever I say, you will be feeling inside you. If I say I, you have to feel it's you. If I say you, you have to feel that it is you. So anything which I am saying, you have to feel in your own self. This is also known as nididhyasana, and this is a part of the second stage which we call as Jnana Yoga. It's a higher level of meditation, which I am conducting as a guided, but one can do it silent on one's own also. That is basically abiding in your own self, understanding the self. And I'll start with a sound Om. Om is a mantra which you might have heard. It's known as universal sound, sound coming from the heart. And you have in every language, you have an equivalent to Om. For example, you have in Christianity, Amen, you call it, In Arabic language, you call it Amin. In Greek language, you call it Omega. All those have got the same sound, Om sound is there, because it starts with what you call a throat and ends with your lips. And all the languages of the world are contained within these two elements, starting from the throat and then ending with lips. Labial, as you call it, So, guttural to labial, this is what it really goes. So I'll start with Om, and then I'll start giving instructions, and after that I will end with Om in about 20 minutes. Okay?